Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome back to another early access premiere draft of Duskmourn. So thank you very much to Wizard of the Coast for providing me with this early access account, and without further ado, let's get into the pack one, pick one. We've got some pretty sweet uncommons. Altanach seems like the most fun, a 7-mana 9/9 trample that lets you draw a card whenever it's targeted. It also lets you discard it to just pick up a land from your grave instead if you don't have the mana to play the Altanach. So awesome card that also has a really fun combo in the format. There's a common that if you cast 3 copies, lets you search for Altanach and put it into play for free. So I like starting with that because the other options here are really just like a really good removal spell, a great 2-colored cards that would lock us to a specific archetype, or just like another really great removal spell. So great removal or great big creature. I'm going to take the great big creature. So that's how I'm feeling. Pick number 2 now. These rares do not seem like draft-oriented cards. You have to spend Wooburg to cast your spells, or you can search for a demon unless you hit Delirium, then this is a tutor. So I'm just going to take the best green card in the pack to go with our Altanach, and that is House Cartographer. 2 mana 2/2 with the new survival mechanic. If it manages to remain on board, be tapped during your second main phase. So basically, if it survives a swing, then you get to pull a land out of your deck, put it into your hand. It is revealing until you hit a land, so you don't choose specifically what mana you get, but this is still an excellent little card draw spell. Even if it is just hitting lands. Works your way up the curve, guaranteed. For pick 3 now, we have this Razorkin Horde Caller, which is very reminiscent of Aomer from the Lord of the Rings format, which is a card I really liked. That was a 5-mana 5/4 haste. Whenever it attacked, if you controlled the creature with the highest power, you got a 1/1. This is a 5-mana 4/4 haste, but whenever you attack, you get the 1/1 no matter what. So this card just seems really, really strong. Gets to play the offensive while still giving you chump blockers on the defensive at the same time. Looks like an awesome card to maybe push us towards some Gruul aggro, just red-green beats here. Pick number 4. Lots of red options, but there's also the Say Its Name, and if you have an Altanach in your deck, you do want to draft this pretty highly to try to get the 3 copies. At least I do, because it's cool. I don't actually know if it's the most viable competitive strategy, because the odds of getting 3 copies and casting them all in the same game are not super high. So it might be better to just take the best little aggressive card, maybe like the Ragged Playmate. This is 2 card types for Delirium, and it can get your 2 power creatures in unblockably. But it's going to be really hard, at least during the early access event, to get me to take anything other than Say Its Name when I have an Altanach in the deck. Pick number 5, Overgrown Zealot's great mana ramp for any deck, but really good when you're flipping stuff up. Alternatively, Glassworks is actually pretty good too. Just 3 mana for 4 damage to a creature. And then late in the game, if you're just flooding out, you get to start pinging your opponent over the long game. I really don't mind that, but I think the Mana Dork is just a little too good to pass up. Pick number 6. Boiler Bilge's Ripper. You have to have something expendable to sacrifice, but if you do, 5 mana 4/4 deal 2 to something is really good. We have nothing expendable yet, though. Oh, 1 Gremlin token, maybe. If we draw this after the Horde color, that'd be pretty good. I'm also only 1 card deep into red, though, and I think the Fleshburr is a solid 2-drop, since Death Touch keeps it relevant as a blocker throughout the game, and as an attacker, 2 of your creatures are not going to be able to get blocked well, because it has Death Touch, and whatever you attack alongside it is going to get Death Touch too. Or whatever you attack with alongside it, I should say. Oh yeah, there's lots of green cards here, so we can just stay deep green. Pick our second color based on what we open up next pack. We can just grab this Rootwise Survivor. Big Haster. If it survives, if it's tapped in your second main phase, start turning your lands into 3/3s. If it does it multiple times, you can have that land be a 6/6, because you can put counters on the same land if you want. Pretty strong, potentially. Okay, pick number 8. Horde Vigor has been pretty solid actually in the green decks. It's good at getting your survivor creatures to attack in and stick around, so I don't mind it. It's also an instant, not a ton of instants to get in your grave for Delirium, which wants 4 more card types in grave. Don't mind that at all. And I just don't think Ticket Booth does a lot of stuff. Yeah, it seems pretty bad. We'll take the Horde Vigor. Ooh, Moldering Gem and Weight Room came back this late around. I really like this card. You get to tutor out a land off of Moldering Gem and then use that mana to unlock the Weight Room, which is a 5/5 at minimum. Pretty nice stuff. It's the Beanstalk Giant of the format. Pick 10. There's another Flesh Burrower that seems fine. You can also take your green-white duel, because again, we have 1 red card. Maybe we'll end up there. But, I don't know, I'm just going to stick green. 11. Okay, I'll take the Razorkin this time around. There's a lot of red cards still around. None of them seem very good, though. But I'll take a Vicious Clown, and for now, we're green-red. Okay, I guess we're... Oh my god, double mythic! Good thing this isn't a paper draft. Just scoop up the cards and run out of the store. I mean, we are 100% green, so we can just take the green mythic here. That's so wild, though, that it's a double mythic pack. This is a ridiculously strong card. 3 mana, 3/3. When it attacks, you manifest Dread. So even if it immediately trades off, you got an extra 2/2 out of it, because it doesn't have to survive to give you the manifest. And if it manifests a big creature, you can spend 2 mana to flip it up, no matter what that creature's mana cost is. Yeah, that's busted in half. We grab the Shrieker here. Wandering Rescuer honestly seems just as busted, just in its own different way. It's just the fact that the Wandering Rescuer's in white when we already have like 10 green cards. So, I guess the choice between 2 mythics, we take the on-color mythic. Pack 2, pick 2. Green card's fine fixing for whatever our second color ends up being. I don't think any of the mono-colored cards are strong enough to push us into their color. So it's between the Centipede and the Brood Spinner trying to push us into black to be another Delirium deck here. Fill the grave with a bunch of different card types and then get a bunch of insects for all those card types. I mean, the upfront value of just a 2 mana 2/3 reach that Surveils 2 is already decent. So I do like Brood Spinner a lot. But honestly, I like Horde Collar pretty much just as much as the Brood Spinner. And I have Horde Collar and 2 random doofuses. If I take Brood Spinner, I just have 1 Brood Spinner and no doofuses. So 1 good card and 2 doofuses is probably a little better than 1 good card without the friends. Pick number 3. Coordinated Clobbering seems like the perfect removal spell for a deck with a lot of survival cards, because you get your creatures tapped so that they survive main phase 2, and you obviously kill something. I'm going to take that. That's going to help our survival stuff in the long run. Pick 4. Don't really like any of the off-color cards that much, so I guess we're just taking another removal spell, Monstrous Emergence. Am I mono green? There's no way. I don't think you're ever supposed to be monocolored in this format. There's dual lands in most packs, and a decent bit of like multicolored uncommons and stuff to build around. Take the Grasping Longneck to stick mono green, or we can... move into blue here for Unnerving Grasp? What does Cursed Recording even do? It's just all about instants and sorceries, right? Doubles up your next 6 instants or sorceries, I think. cool, but honestly, we're not going to be a super instant sorcery heavy deck when we're in green. Pick 6, second copy of Say Its Name. I just need one more now to summon Altenac. 7, big branch snapper. Over the random blue stuff. Pick 8, Insidious Fungus or Glimmerlight. Get a 1/1 and a +1/+1 equipment, or get a 1/2 that's main deckable artifact enchantment. 8. Either card goes into mono green, which is cute. Take the fungus here. There's a lot of artifacts and enchantments in the set. It's a lot of artifact creatures for the Delirium decks, and a lot of like enchantments with both the room cards as well as enchantment creatures with the fears and other enchantment-based mechanics. Another Horde Vigor, I guess. Another Centipede. Both seem fine. I guess we don't have a lot of 3-drops on curve. Let's grab another Centipede. Guess I could be playing Moldering Gym turn 3 or 4 to ramp up. Random red card. I have 23 playables right now, but 5 of them are off color. So if in the final pack I find at least like 5 green cards, I guess we just mono green it up. Because I just still don't feel like I've had massive reasons to be another color. It's really just a Horde color or an Unnerving Grasp. 2 pretty great uncommons. But the one color I have infinite reasons to be is green. Alright, come on in, long neck. Blue-black rare, or sorry, blue-black mythic. Well, I got a green rare too, so that's fine, right? 3 mana, 3/3 vigilance. All of our creatures can tap for mana, and when it dies, return it to the battlefield as an enchantment, so your creatures can still tap for mana? Okay, yeah, that's certainly worth a card. Take the Enduring Vitality there. Now another Rootwise Survivor. And we did it. Mono green for some reason. I mean, when we're playing off of Wizards of the Coast's Monopoly bucks, now's the best time to do stupid things that you're not supposed to do. Another Moldering Gym seems sweet. Oh, Expropriate? 9 mana? Peer Past the Veil's cute. I'm gonna try to expropriate somebody at some point, but not today. Mono green is the machine of the day. We already have 23 playables. Okay, I have a lot of 3-drops, so I really don't think I'm going to be missing on anything to not take this long neck. So I will go ahead and take the blue bounce spell. If Expropriate comes back, I'll play Unnerving Grasp, Bottomless Pool, and Expropriate. Off a little blue splash with our ramp towards it. That's 3 Moldering Gems to ramp into it if it comes back, but it's probably safer to just take another Monstrous Emergence. Since we are not a removal-heavy color or a removal-heavy deck. Yeah, let's grab another Monstrous Emergence here. Wooburg. 1 mana of every color for a 3/5, reveal a top 7, put all enchantments into your hand, the rest into the bottom, lock or unlock a door of a room. As a sorcery. That's pretty fun, but egregiously hard to cast. Saw, we can start sacking all of our lands to draw cards in the late game. It's kind of cute. I don't think I'll end up playing anything in that pack, but maybe maybe Saw would be worth it. Okay, I'm definitely not playing any of this. Just throw another Frantic Strength in the sideboard. Not playing any of this. Bloodsucker to the side. The deck has built itself. If I take no more playable cards, we're just going to slam 16 forests in here and get into the gameplay. You can cut like a land or two in mono-colored decks because you're never going to be stuck off of a specific color. And we have 2 Moldering Gems to ramp up, an Overgrown Zealot, and an Enduring Vitality to ramp up. Altenac can also be discarded to get a land. Branch Snapper can be discarded to get a land. Altenac is only if there's a land in our grave, but there's always some self-mill. I guess our deck doesn't have a lot of it, but like with a Say Its Name, if there's an extra land in there, then Altenac can pick it up. Speaking of, we found 2 out of 3 Say Its Names. Genuinely tragic. So close. We wield Expropriate! Oh my god, okay. Mono green Expropriate the deck. 1 Unnerving Grasp, 1 Expropriate. There is no way this is right. But it's fun. So now I do have to make some changes, because I'm definitely playing 17 lands with a 9-drop in the deck, even with some ramp spells. So, probably the Fungus. I mean, there's a lot of artifact enchantment creatures. It's probably some of the 3-drops too. The Centipedes can grab islands. So maybe a Long Neck. A Frantic Strength. Yeah, cut these 3. I think I only want to play like 5 islands, honestly. We have 2 Centipedes and 2 Moldering Gems to pull out whatever land we need, so those can just always pull out an island to get to double blue by the time we have 9 mana. Otherwise, there's only 1 blue spell, so yeah, 5-12 feels like the split. I'm just going to try to cast Expropriate in a 1v1 environment, take an extra turn and steal one of their cards. Yeah. It's silly. I don't know what we're doing here, but Mono Green Expropriate is the deck. Let's just hop into the gameplay and see how it does. Alright, this hand looks fine. Not a lot of good early defenses. If our opponent's really aggressive, we could have problems. But the gym's going to ramp us up into our bigger plays, and the weight room itself will be one of those bigger plays. Now I can deal 4 to their first card with Monstrous Emergence, so that makes me feel a lot safer. Swamp Cycle the Spectral thingy. Now a Spine Seeker Centipede. Green, black, and white. Take 2 damage to actually ramp here? I think I do. Expropriate was on top. I hate how Arena shows you. Well, we don't have nearly enough mana for it yet anyway, but I would like it in hand to know that I'm working towards it. Make me feel all safe. Anthropede. You can discard a card to blow up our room. So our room 1-for-1s them, that's fine. Unnerving Grasp. Don't really want them to pick up either of those because they have relevant enter the battlefield effects on both. But I do want to wait a turn to play Survivor. I'd like to have the Horrid Vigor to protect the Survivor. I guess Grasp on Anthropede isn't that bad, because if I draw my other Moldering Gem, I just can choose not to play it. Very watchdog. They get a 3/1. They surveil when they play it and when it dies. They got a fungus in the grave. They got a benign infection over there. Alright. We need 3 more mana this game. Centipede is one of the 3, so I just need to hit 2 more lands to try to win off Expropriate. And the plan was survive or hold up Horrid Vigor, so we'll just stick to that. Seems fine. Cool. We trade Horrid Vigor for their removal spell, and Survivor remains. That is land number 8 out of 9 for Expropriate. Jam for 4 and gain 2. Two turns away from Expropriate, maybe. There's the Cryptid Inspector. That's the land. We're definitely 1 turn away from Expropriate now. Our board isn't that good for it, though, currently, which is awkward. Guess we clear out the Watchdog here. And then Expropriate can just be like steal their Inspector and take a turn. Which is still good. Who starts the vote? Starting with me. Each money vote, choose a permanent. I can steal their lands, too. Interesting. Well, if they cast anything good here, we can just Expropriate, steal their best permanent, and then their options are to give me their Cryptid Inspector or another turn, and either of those options is pretty lethal. Ew. That's really bad for me, actually. That makes Expropriate pretty bad. So Moldering Gem's a good draw. Yep. Play the whole thing immediately. To get around the pod thing. I have a 5/5 Death Touch. Does this target when I steal one of their cards? For each time vote, take action. For each money vote, choose a permanent. So it doesn't even target. So if they cast Altenac, I don't even let them draw a card because I'm not targeting Altenac. I'm just choosing to steal it. Ooh. Come on, Forest. No! Ah. What the heck is going on? Oh, well. No removal left for Hauntwood Shrieker, maybe? Please? Cast 3 emergencies. No more. That is a snap, no block. I'm not getting my Shrieker killed by a trick on the defensive. Man. I guess if they choose to let me steal something, I just have their last green source and their Inspector. I can't. It feels so bad to do this before they Altenac, but then I steal the green source and they can't Altenac. Money, steal the blocker, and they can't combat trick the Shrieker. If they give me money, I'm taking their forest, and they just can never cast Ultinac. Oh, owned by the voter. Oh, I've never played Expropriate before. Oops. Supposed to take time. Okay, we have to choose time every time then. Okay, so it's not flexible at all. It's just always one extra turn and one of their permanents. Which is still very good, but... not exactly how I wanted it to play out. That is really important to know for the future, so I'm glad we learned that here where it probably doesn't matter. It's the second Ultinac mana. So it may... okay, no, it definitely doesn't matter. All this out on board. Ooh, look who's here. It's your best friend. Oh my god, look at this. I don't even know what's happening. Cards are triggering, that's what's happening. Alright. Start things off 1-0, and for future games where it matters, hopefully we can cast Expropriate correctly and not steal our own permanent. Alright, here we are for game 2. We got a turn 4 Rootwise Survivor. Try to get that Survivor trigger. What does the Norn do in this format? Oh my god, we have turn 3 Shrieker instead. Whenever creature control becomes blocked, exile it and play a card from exile this turn. So flicker it out and then you can just recast it anyway. Okay, so they like sneak around. If they're ever in danger, they just blink out of existence. Get recast. Whenever it attacks, tap any number of untapped creatures, give it +1/+1 for each creature tapped this way. Alright, this is quite the curve out. That's not good. I'm gonna need to get a like 2-for-1 from Shrieker here to really be in this. Get it to trade into something on attacks and then on blocks. Wow. And then the literal perfect follow-up to make sure that can't happen. The only card in the set that forces a block. There are a lot of cards in the set that would just kill my 3/3 though, so we can pretend that they just did that. They just killed the 3/3. Oof, friendly ghost to guarantee they get past the centipede. Yep, since the other creature's not blocking anyway. Get the extra damage and we're down to 9. Yikes. Survivor is really bad here. It's just a 3/4 on blocks because we can't afford to attack and then have a tapped 3/3. Yeah, this is looking bad. This is just the full curve out Boros aggro. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the best bet here. The only way I'm getting another blocker is just by playing Survivor and not even attacking with it. I can have 2 more blockers in the long run if I attack with it now, but then I only have 1 blocker this turn. Gotta gamble a little. Now I'll have 3 blockers next turn and a Horrid Vigor up on blocks. We about to get killed by some +3/+0 to everybody or something. Let's see. Or there's just a Norn flicker to protect it. Just a Norn Flicker for free attacks. Recast it. Alright, well. Super awkward. So I need to make my land a 6/6 to be able to actually kill their friendly ghost, and I need to kill the flyer here. After a creature if it would die, exile instead. Give it indestructible. And it wouldn't die. Again, Death Touch doesn't work with Emergence, so we have to choose the 6/6, not the Death Toucher. Now they're down to a 2/1. Okay, they're down to a couple 2/1s. Let's say its name and see if we get a... Oh wow, I could have tapped this in a way to cast the Shrieker this turn. That was bad. That's on me. Just gonna see if we got Delirium for Centipede. We did not. I'll probably attack with Survivor. Cool. Force the 2-for-1 trade. They're down to 1 card in hand. Sure, we're down to 5, but... You know what? I guess I can play Shrieker off of this Forest. It's better than Moldering Gem. We're down to 5, but we can flip this board way back in our favor with Shrieker back from Say Its Name. And... yeah, I'm going to be putting enough creatures on board here to kind of swing out. Not completely, because we're not sending Centipede in, but close enough. Cool. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponent. Really close game. A lot of pressure from our opponent, but I think it was really nice finding the line. The really bold play with the Survivor earlier of like, yeah, I'm going to take a big hit here, but we need to get the survival trigger so that we have 3 blockers next turn. Setting that up so that in the long run we eventually got to the monstrous emergence to kill the flyer was a massive deal. That helped us stabilize there and flip things around. Obviously, Shrieker was a somewhat big part of that, being able to say its name it back, but I don't think it even really mattered in the long run. Just any good creatures would have helped. The really important one was the Survivor there, doubling us up. 2-0 it is. Stressful game of Magic, but another victory for us. Here we are for game number 3 against a Wizards of the Coast employee. This is somebody that works on Magic the Gathering or Magic the Gathering Arena, as you can tell by the mythic colored name. Very cool. I'm gonna beat the heck out of him. This is what you get for making such an incredible game. I'm gonna try to mono green expropriate you. Uh-oh. They might aggro me out for my foolishness, but we'll see. Unfortunately on the draw here, I don't think we can rely on trying to get Cartographer to survival. We just gotta trade into the piggy bank. Not take 3 a turn. They will get a treasure token out of it. Okay, cool. They didn't attack anyway. Nice. Let's Moldering Gem to set up the Rootwise Survivor then. I could Emergence and get like the 1 land draw, but getting a land actually straight to the board is kind of a big deal. Again, for Survivor next turn. Alright, Scorching Dragonfire for the Cartographer. Okay, let's see if they can kill the Survivor. And let's hope not. Because it's pretty awesome if they can. Alright, they can. Still got one of our lands to be a 3/3, which is decent in the long run. Double Centipede, or Weight Room, or Emergence the Piggy Bank. I don't want to blow removal on a 3/2. Let's flip the Weight Room. Three, four, five, six, seven. I can flip that next turn, and it's a 12/12 trample. Death Touch blocker for the Branch Snapper. I don't want to just attack with Altanach, because then if they don't block, I'm taking pretty massive crackbacks, right? If they do block, I do kind of just win. I'm taking a minimum of 10 on the crackback. I guess I can afford to. I mean, it's funny and it's bold. Let's just do it. Yes! Yes! The double block! Eat them all, Altanach! Oh, there's the concession from our opponent as our Altanach devours their entire board and tramples over for a few points of damage. That was a pretty great manifest hit, I would say. Pretty great manifest hit. We are 3-0 heading into game 4. Alright, here we are against NCAA, a draft grinder always at the top of the 17 lands leaderboards. Very, very prolific at the game. The right word is. Super good player, always at the top of the scoreboards. Alright, luckily we are on the play here. We can try to get Cartographer to attack before NCAA drops a creature, but they're usually on pretty aggressive decks, from what I've seen, because those are just the fastest decks to grind the leaderboard with, and red is an aggressive color, so I would not expect any different here. Yep, there's the creature to trade into Cartographer. Honestly, I don't think this deck minds that much. Just trading that, taking less damage in the grand scheme of things. Just use the Cartographer to slow our opponent down. Seems good. Here's the Moldering Gem. Centipede can grab the blue source later if I really missed my second blue. Green is just infinitely more important, so we're just going to keep grabbing green until the millisecond I need the blue. Get to play Centipede and Flesh Burrower here. That looks like the play. And then next turn, open up the Weight Room. Next turn, say its name. Couple turns after that, expropriate. This thing's getting buffed when they play power 2 or less creatures. But it'll still just trade into our Death Toucher for now. If we get Delirium, it'll trade into Centipede. We can get a Sorcery Engrave for sure. Oh, there's Glassworks to blow up the Death Toucher. So no blocks anymore, but it's only 2 damage for now. And I'm about to make a 5/5. Okay, cool. Hello there. Please don't kill this 5/5. I beg. We found our mythic. Oh yes, they're not killing the 5/5. Let's go. That's a huge attack this turn, though. Actually, just get to attack past the 5/5. Okay, 7 out of 9 mana, 8 out of 9 when I play this gem, and I only need to spend 3 to flip the Shrieker. So 3 to flip Shrieker, 3 attacks so that it gets the attack trigger, 3 to play the gem to work towards expropriate. Doesn't matter there. Just get the 2/2. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Yeah, this is land 8, so if I top deck a land, I'm at expropriate and I just win the game. But this time, make sure to choose time. We have to choose time. I guess the awkward part, yeah, Expropriate's probably just really bad in 1v1 draft. Because, like, if it's ever a position where, like, they just have good permanents, then it's, like, 2 extra turns for me. When, like, maybe my permanents suck, you know? Probably have to chump 7 damage. Okay, I didn't hit the land, so I can't expropriate this turn, but I can wait room. Shrieker could maybe flip the wait room card for free. I've got the Horrid Vigor to attack with the Shrieker. Okay, that can flip up. It's a 4/4. Alright, there's the chump block. Can spend 6 on wait room and still 2 to flip up my 4/4. And now I've got a 5/5 as well. I guess I could have saved its named to pick up a land to play Expropriate next turn. Oh no. Whenever it attacks, deal damage to me equals the number of creatures of power 2 or less they have, which is a lot. Trumpet 5/5, right? So first strike till end of turn? Sure. Death Touch trick the 5/5 then? Yeah. Survivor's kind of big. Yeah, another 3/3 blocker. This is a 4/4. 12 life. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to have 2 blockers up. 1 manifested and 1 land. Okay. Try to eat Annabelle. Still have the land blocker. Yep, they're down to 1. I gained some life. I have a land blocker. Yeah, 15 to 1. Think we're good. There's Unsettling Twins. Double trigger of Vicious Clown. Super big. Send it in, send a message. Little chump here. But they're at 1 life. We crack back with everybody for lethal. Cool. And that is the game. That is 4-0. As we head into Game 5, which will be the final game for these early access drafts, keeping them to 5 games apiece, so I can get 7 of these drafts recorded in this 1-day-long event. So, this might be our first undefeated draft with mono green. Goofy one, but we'll see. 4-0 heading into the final battle of today's draft. Alright, that's exactly what you want in your opening hand, right? Expropriate the 9-drop. The 9-drop that doesn't even work the way I want it to for 1v1. I can't steal 2 permanents. I mean, I'm gonna keep it. I got the Burrower and the Centipede. I got my early plays. playing against blue-white. Grand Entryway starts things off, gives them a 1/1, and then puts a +1/+1 counter on 2 creatures later. Year of Isolation, pick up the land, alright. Play an Underwater Tunnel, Surveil 2. So lose some tempo there. Go down a land drop. But they look like a really aggressive blue-white deck. It's clobberin' time? I can just clobber the flyer anyway. Choose 1 or 2 untapped creatures you control. They deal the damage, so I can just tap a single Death Toucher and kill the flyer. Honestly, it buys me time, I'm fine with it. It's the creature dealing the damage, so Death Touch does matter on that one. There's the Tunnel Surveyor for a 2/2 and a 1/1. Centipede into a blue source, and we are chilling until turn 9. Friendly Ghost. Casper, get out of here. Make a rabbit a 3/5. You're ridiculous, Casper. Down to 17. Well, I mean, we are going to need these lands at some point. But if I expropriate with just 2 2/2s on board, it is not going to be a winning spell. That's just going to be 9 mana, draw 2 cards, basically. Cast that to get 2 more draw steps, because they're just going to give me time and not money. Alright, Gremlin Tamer is horrifying. Every enchantment they play comes with a 1/1 now. This format is loaded with enchantments. Speaking of being loaded with enchantments, we're going to get Ethereal Armored in like 2 swings. That's already a 7/9 flyer now. Alright. Yeah, fair way to end it. Die to our hubris here. Keep the 9-drop opener. Hit all the lands we need to get to it, but we don't have anything to do in between. We're just waiting for 9 mana and dying to a 7/9 in the meantime. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're just dead this turn. They can attack with everybody. I block 2. I take 7, 8, 9. They just need to get 1 more enchantment on the board somehow and we're dead. Alright, they're not going for it. Final turn. Yeah. Die for our mono green expropriate hubris. Fair enough. Hubris? Hubris? I don't know. End it. End my suffering. Yeah, get some counters with the Elegant Rotunda. And another gremlin. Seems like a really fun archetype, by the way. Blue-white enchantments. Blue-white Eerie. Very cool deck. But I'm very dead for putting an Expropriate in this deck. I think it would just have been better without it, now that I know how it works. And even if it did work the way that I wanted it to, the deck would probably still be better without the Expropriate, because 9 mana is just so much. You can run into hands like this pretty easily. Just get steamrolled by the time you get anywhere close to there. But 4-1, still an excellent record. A lot of wins today for a pretty goofy deck. So, biggest overperformers, obviously our Mythic Rare was ridiculous. We were going to win every game that we had that in. We didn't get to draw our Enduring Vitality, which is kind of sad. Didn't get to show that off. That would have been one of the best ways to actually expropriate in this deck, is that we could have played it like 3 turns early just by having a couple centipedes or flesh burrowers on board alongside the vitality. But never got to do that. Honestly, the root-wise survivors were consistently pretty great. So those were pretty big overperformers. But for the most part, a lot of wins off of an incredible mythic rare. But also some real good work from the survivor and the moldering gems consistently giving us those big manifested 5/5s. Just really solid stuff from the green carbs as a whole, giving us a very solid record at 4-1. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.